Hi guys, welcome back. How are you? How's your health? How's your skin? How's your life? I hope your skin is better than mine. Anyway, welcome back to my channel, guys. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Chantel, and please subscribe and watch what I get up to. Today's video is going to be about 10 things I wish I knew or did before I moved back to Nigeria. So some of you already know that I studied in the UK for 5 years, and then I moved back a couple of years ago. And in retrospect, being back here now, there are quite a few things I would have handled differently if I knew about them properly. And so without further ado, let's get into the video. The first thing I wish I did before I moved back to Nigeria was my master's, right? So people who know me know that I love academics. I love reading. I love learning. Like, I was always in the library, right? And then I finished, luckily for me at the time as well, when the recession in the country was getting quite bad. So I was able to just finish off university. My parents were done paying pounds. They're like, listen, we are done with pounds. Come to Nigeria and do law school. But the thing is, after law school, NYC happened. After NYC happened, I got married, as you know. And so now there's so much more that has to go into consideration when it comes to doing my master's, because I can't just up and leave the country with a whole husband waiting for me. Why move with him? Do you know what I mean? So I wish I had done my master's beforehand. Okay. So the second thing I wish I knew / did before I moved back was that there's connections, yeah? And there's connections. Do you understand? Like, so obviously everybody who is Nigerian or African already knows that connections is important. No matter what grades you get or whatever, connections is as important, right? If not more important, to be honest. But if you were relying, if I thought I was going to be relying on just my parents' connections, let me tell you guys, and that's not even all I was relying on. Do you see? Because I went to university, I did pretty decent in university, I came out with a good grade. You would think that after all of that, everything would just happen for you smoothly. No, you're still applying for jobs. You're still talking to your dad's friends and your mom's friends and your uncles and your aunties and your uncles and aunties and uncles, asking them for placement, and they're telling you, oh, okay, yeah, definitely. Meanwhile, there are people who finish university with pass. And then NDIC, some good, civil service. So I wish it really sunk into my head that connections have different levels to it. Do you know what I mean? Okay. The third thing I wish I knew / did before I moved back to the country, which is very important, and stemming from the second point, is that networking is arguably more important than qualifications. Actually, I think it's definitely more important than qualifications. Back to that same point. I did well in school. Do you know what it is? I remember when I was in final year, and I talked to my mom, my dad, my uncles and aunts, and be like, oh yeah, if you get in first class, Chantel, and them go rush you. Do you know what? Besides me hustling for the first class to get a car from my parents, which is what I was hustling for, I was also just thinking, wow, wouldn't life be amazing if you just come back home and you just put your paper on the table, and all they have to see is, first class from university with a good course, and that's done. So I came back with my first class, bearing in mind that whilst my mates were, going out or going back home to sleep, I was in the library like a crazy person. Like, for every second I was thinking, I'm tired, I've done enough today. I'd be like, you know what, just one more. Have you guys watched that movie Hacksaw Ridge, where the guy keeps trying to get keep trying to save just one more soldier? That became my motto. I'm like, God, just, I said don't talk about his glasses, but I can't not talk about them. But my motto was just one more. Just try and go through it one more time. Try and read it one more time. Try and just do it one more time. That's all I tried to do. So every time I got tired, I'll take a break in the library. I will sleep on the floor in the library. 20 minutes power nap. Get up. Right, let's do it again. Fast forward, I came back to Nigeria with my first class degree in law, University of Kent. Do you know that? I thought that I didn't need to farms anybody because my degree has done what it needs to be done. Oof. The rude awakening of my life. Listen, people, you cannot afford to be antisocial in Nigeria as an adult.
You cannot afford to be antisocial in Nigeria as an adult.
Seems like it's not a childish excuse. Oh, I'm not a very social person. You need to network. Like, there is no other way to go around it. I hear people who've gotten jobs from seeing someone in the club. They were chatting with someone in the club. Oh, look at my lawyer in our firm. Oh, really? They became a lawyer in their firm. What? And I'm here always in my house. So I had to really come to terms with the fact that Chantal, yeah, you're not the friendliest person. We understand that. But sometimes you have to make yourself uncomfortable for your own greater good, for you to actually do better in life and move forward, right? The fourth thing I wish I knew / did before I moved back to the country was I wish I started this YouTube channel. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so much harder here than it was in the UK. First of all, maybe because they're just, it's more normal in the UK. So there are bloggers everywhere. It's professionals everywhere that you see people walking around with their cameras talking to themselves. And it's what it is, you know what I mean? You go to restaurants, you film there, you go to a place. Unless it's sensitive material or someone else's copyrighted material, you never really go to a place in the UK, like a restaurant, McDonald's or whatever, and they tell you, oh, you can't film here. The amount of times you go to a place in Nigeria and they tell you, not only can you not film there, but even if you do buy something there, you have to still pay on top to film. Like, there's no understanding that it's promotion for two people. It's not a one-way street. Like, yeah, I'm using your nice venue, like this venue I'm using today. And I mean, I bought wings, guys. I bought 30 wings. 30 wings. And as I speak to you, my husband is opposite, eating the wings. So we can stay here and start rocking this thing up. Because what do you want me to do? Like, my house isn't bright enough. I don't have lights here. I don't have equipment yet. I have to go around and butcher every week like a crazy person looking for where to film. Like, the fifth thing I wish I knew / did before I moved back to Nigeria was travel more. Guys, I cannot overemphasize this. I don't know what I was, again, it's still back to this same social point. I don't know what I was doing. Because you know what it is here? This green passport, it's a handicap. I keep saying it. You heard it here, you always hear it. It's a handicap. But even with the handicap, it was still easier to get visas. And more than being easier, it was cheaper to get visas and flights and everything from the UK than it is to fly within, like, anywhere from Africa. So if I wanted to go to Cape Verde, which is in Africa, do you know it's cheaper for me to have done that from the UK than it is for me to do from Nigeria here? And again, this a little digress, but this goes back to the whole point that we're hoping the African Union, the new summit, would fix, because the intertrade between Africa and movement is actually quite terrible. Like, flights within Africa is more than a flight out of the continent. That makes no sense. Like, why? If you're listening to this at your university, please travel. Like, honestly, unless you have okay. What number is this now? I've lost track. 6th, I think. Thing I wish I knew before I came back to Nigeria was how expensive it was going to be to get the most basic things ever. Like, do you know how tees, for example, white t-shirts, socks, knickers, like the basic things, tights, my lord, like, I can't, what? Bacon. The most basic things here are harder to get and way more expensive. Remember when I got back and I wanted to get, I think, socks? I don't know, I always misplace my socks. And first of all, you don't just find, like, stores like Primark where you just walk into and get yourself £2 socks and get out. Like, you go to the internet, then you go to different stores. And then the people who are selling socks, I don't know, like, did they harvest the socks from sheep? I don't really understand what's going on, because all of a sudden, socks is like 4K for socks. So, access to them, and then you find places that sell them, and you may find places that sell them cheap, but then the delivery is more than the item. Do you know, like, when you want to buy something from eBay and then it's like a screen protector, for example, and they sell it. Let's say they buy it from a China retailer for like 0.99, and then delivery is 5.99. Excuse me, like that's the issue here. The most basic, and I didn't realize how much I was going to miss that. If I knew, maybe I would have stocked up on some things. Maybe I wouldn't have, or maybe I would have been more mentally prepared at the very least. But that is one thing I hope that changes, because everything is so hard to get. The littlest things, it's impossible. It's like a task. Another thing I wish I knew before I came back was that rent in Nigeria is paid mostly annually, not quarterly or monthly. Now, that's a tricky one because, one, I was younger when I came back. I had no reason to think too much about rent. Up until just last year, really, when I moved out of my parents and I moved to a different city, that I had to really think about that. And everything's paid annually, one bulk figure. And in fact, it's not even then it hit it. It's more so now, because now you're married, now you're paying for things yourself. That means next year's rent, you know, I'm about to start paying rent, guys. Like, this is real adulting moment, like rent. And usually what it is that you may find that the rent money is actually not a lot in the grand scheme of things based on what you get paid per year, what you earn. But the issue is asking for a bulk figure at one point. Still, it's something to like put in mind, and not like intentionally open a rent account and putting money there every month and not touch the account at all, knowing that at the end of the year you have to drop whatever large amount of money it is that's required of you to have shelter. Yeah. Another thing I wish I knew before I moved back to Nigeria was my main markets would be hot. Guys, I kept saying when I was in UK, when I was in UK, I had these two friends, Marion and Ida. We lived together. And we just, you know, when you just live with someone and your lifestyle just syncs with each other. So we were doing the same thing. We had moments, we did nothing and everything together. So if we're bored at the same time. Do you know what I mean? And then all of us didn't have any boyfriends at the time, all three of us. And I didn't have a boyfriend for the whole of university, the whole of UK. And then we'll all stay, you see all these cute couples, and you'd be like, oh my God, where is Bae? Where is Bae? Where is Bae? This was our constant cry. Where is Bae? Honestly, that's all we kept saying. And you know, I kept telling them then, I don't know if they will remember, but I kept saying to them, I said, you know what? If I finish university and I do not have a job or a husband, like husband in the grand scheme of things, as someone who's progressing to that point, I'm going back to my country. And girls, I guarantee you, in 6 months I'll have both a man and a job. I thought it was a joke then, because at the time I didn't even want to live in Nigeria. I had no intentions to actually ever move back and live here. But that wasn't a joke. I moved back here to law school, and then one thing has to do with the fact that Nigerian men are just too breezy. So they just walk up to you and say whatever comes to their mind. It doesn't matter who it is or who they're talking to. So that's one part. So there was an influx of all kinds of people, both the useless and the useful, right? But way more than in the UK, let me tell you. Like, if I knew, also it's a little funny one, rocking a little table here, but that's people's business. The next thing I wish I knew before I moved back to the country was that patriarchy has some benefits here. Stop. Before you start shouting, oh my God, Chantel, I can't believe you said that you're supposed to be a feminist. When I was in the UK, I paid for all my things myself, right? Like, if I went out, the few times I did go out, I paid my way. So if I was going clubbing, I went by myself. If I was buying drinks, if I wanted to buy new clothes, like, speaking of new clothes, I remember the one time some guy bought me clothes in the UK, and then we had issues, and I told him he couldn't come to my room. Then he asked me to return the clothes. That's a whole different story. Anyway, I paid for all my things myself, right? Then I come to Nigeria, fast forward, law school finishes. No, not law school, but one finishes, right? So it's the end of exams, and I'm going out with my friends at the time. So I asked this girl in my French professor at the time. I said, right, so like, I've never been clubbing in Nigeria before. What's the budget? What should I be going out with? Do you know what she says to me? She says, budgets? God forbid. when I'm an ugly, when I'm an ugly girl. And that cracked me up. So I was like, what do you mean? She said, people will buy me drinks in the club. Boys will buy me drinks when I go out. Someone will pick up my transport. Someone will do it. I'm like, what? So you just go out without any money, just hoping that someone will fund your way. She's like, you see now? I was like, me, I just carried my money because I don't want an embarrassment for chicken. So I carried my money and went out. Went to the club. I was sat down there because I was bored, I suppose. Some guy walks up to me. He says, "Why aren't you dancing?" I said, "I'm sober." He says, he gives me a drink. I was like, okay, I see what's going on. I finished drink. I'm still sat. He circles back to me like some 20 minutes later. "You're still not dancing?" I said, "I'm still sober." Another drink. Guys, come on. Come on now. Like, this is new territory. This is amazing stuff to me. You know what? Let me never lie. Yes, I'm a feminist, equal rights, equal pay, equal responsibility. But it was nice. And then for all the nonsense we have to deal with as women in Nigeria, if that's our own little benefit, let's take it. Because you go out. In fact, just today, I was leaving the estate with my husband. I saw the security man. I said, "Good afternoon." He turned to my husband and said, "Good afternoon, sir." This shit happens all the time. It's actually... So if I have to deal with that, I can deal with walking up to going out and, someone else funding my way because tit for tat, So all jokes aside though, it's actually quite, it is a little beneficial. The last thing, I think, the 10th thing I wish I knew before I moved back to Nigeria was sometimes I'd have to deliberately appear less educated not to get cheated. Let me explain what I mean. Growing up, I never used to use taxis anywhere, right? Because I grew up in Port Harcourt and it's not really safe there. So between it not being safe and then my parents' fear adding to that, we were very sheltered. We didn't go anywhere. We didn't use taxis. Drivers took us to places and dropped us back if we needed to even go anywhere, right? Then I moved to Abuja for law school first, yeah. And I had to take a taxi. I had to take a taxi to somewhere, like literally like maybe 100 meters away. I was shitting myself because I had not done this dance before. So I was actually, I was scared. So I asked him how much is the taxi. I actually had to ask the maid first. I'm like, how much should it be charging me? She said they should charge you 15 naira. I said, okay, that's fine. But in a second situation, the next day, I was taking a taxi. I didn't know how much it was supposed to be. I'm not sure about distances or anything like that. I didn't tell you, I put my husband and say I'm not the best negotiator when it comes to like haggling for prices and stuff like that. So for a period of time, if a trip was supposed to be 1,000 naira usually, I don't know what it is about these taxi drivers and people who hawk things or sell things, but they look at you and they just know that this one, you don't know that that's it. They don't look at you and sometimes 1,000 naira will come 3,500. And you don't know. And the mistake you'll be making it also is converting the price in your head to pounds and thinking, oh, that's not that much. But, bruh, they're using to do a wolf, honestly. And then I had to learn that, right, I'm going to tell you taxes a lot. And the point I had to, like, actually, like, watching the funds and stuff like that. And you have to try and switch to pidgin to book a taxi on the road. Because if you speak normal English, you say, which one has money? So you have to speak pidgin. After claiming warrior girl, I say, me warrior girl. And this is what I had to do so that I wouldn't like lose all my money. So it was something that happened several times with hawkers, with taxi people, with going to a store to buy anything that did not have a fixed price put me in a position to be cheated on financially because they would just assess you and assume, oh, she has so and so kind of funds type thing. Do you get what I mean? But yeah, that was my experience. Anyway, guys, that was the 10 things I wish I knew / did before I moved back to the country. If you have anything in that list, let me know. Share it down below. If you agree with anything I said or disagree, let me know. What have been your experiences moving back? If you want me to do anything else, let me know that as well. Today is Moshi's birthday, so I'm in a hurry. I have to head out now. Wish him happy birthday in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.